You're listening to FraudFeed, your finger on the pulse of the latest news and trends in insurance fraud prevention. Brought to you by the Coalition Against Insurance Fraud. Insurance fraud hurts everyone, and it's important to know how it can affect you and what you can do to fight against it. Now here's your host, Stephen Murphy.
Ronnie Bogle just wanted to have a good time at the Las Vegas casinos, a little extra splurge. So he applied for a second credit card. He was surprised to find, however, that the card was denied. His credit was bad. When Ronnie got a hold of his credit report back home in San Jose, California, what he discovered was life-changing. Someone was using Ronnie's health insurance policy to pay for medical treatment, thousands of dollars worth, and doing it for 5 full years. Incredibly enough, that person was no stranger. It was Ronnie's own brother. Ronnie was a victim of medical identity theft, and it's a crime that's growing at an alarming rate. Hi, I'm Stephen Murphy, and welcome to FraudFeed. In this episode, we'll tell you all about the crime of medical ID theft. This crime can ruin your credit, cost you big money, and damage your good name. But we'll show you how to fight back and win. Ronnie relates what happened after discovering his brother had scammed his health policy.
You start calling the hospitals and you're finding out that they have very serious medical treatments under your name, that the worry about a credit card goes out the window. I became very, very concerned about the fact that my entire medical history was quite literally being used and misconstrued and messed up and used fraudulently, and it became very, very serious very quickly.
Ronnie Bogle has plenty of company. Anybody can get scammed. The number of victims has doubled in the last few years. That's according to the Medical Identity Fraud Alliance. Of even greater concern, more than 2 million people were victims just last year. Just what is this crime? Well, someone steals your identity to get medical treatment. The ID thieves pretend they're you at the hospital or medical clinic. Typically, they've stolen your social security number, your health insurance number, and other private information. Often they defraud your health insurance policy to pay for their own treatment. Other identity thieves don't even use your insurance. They simply ring up large medical bills in your name and then disappear without paying. This means the big unpaid bills are left in your name. But who are medical ID thieves? Well, about half the time, the ripoff artist is someone you know. It could be your aunt or uncle, or it could be a good friend. Maybe they see your wallet or purse, with your personal information in it, sitting on the dining room table. Ann Patterson with the Medical Identity Fraud Alliance tells us more.
The 50%, of the fraud that we put in that friends and family category, that is being used for obtaining medical goods or services because the so-called identity thief does not have their own health insurance, and so that is actually, going to the doctor's office, getting surgeries done, getting prescriptions. It is actually obtaining some sort of health care.
As for the other 50%, well, those medical ID thieves are complete strangers. They might be a professional swindler who's hacked a medical provider's database, or found your info by diving in a dumpster. They bill your health plan with fake and inflated claims, and you're stuck with large claims that can max out your policy. Medical ID theft can cost you big. Most important, your health could be placed in grave danger. An identity thief's medicines and other items can become a part of your own medical records. That could mean trouble if you're suddenly taken to the hospital.
On a more severe end, something like allergies and blood types. If you have mismatched blood types, there's going to be confusion, and in the severe kind of event that you are taken to an emergency room and you're unconscious and you're able to provide your own information, but they look it up and they see that you have a certain blood type, which actually is not yours, it's the identity thief, you would receive the wrong, blood transfusion.
Your good credit could also be ruined by these unpaid medical bills. This makes it much harder for you to buy a car or get a mortgage or even a loan for your kids' tuition. On top of that, you could spend months getting your credit and unpaid medical bills cleared up. Not to mention the stress and loss of sleep. Ronnie Bogle had to work day and night to get more than 50 unpaid medical bills cleared from his credit records.
when you're a victim of identity theft, it's your responsibility to prove to that collection agency or that hospital or what have you that you're not that person. It's all on you. I had to fax 3 signatures of my signature. I had to fax my personal information, including my Social Security card and my driver's license. I had to oftentimes go to my employer and have human resources write a letter to get them to prove that I was actually in San Jose at work when this person was being treated.
Here's another dose of medicine that's hard to swallow. 1 of 3 ID theft victims will be stuck with out-of-pocket expenses while cleaning up their stolen identity. And guess what the average cost is? It's at least $18,000. That's what it takes for those victims to clear up their stolen identity. All of this is according to new research by the Ponemon Institute. Ronnie should know.
The amount of hours that accumulated over a period of time literally went into the years. It was time off work. It was time on my days off. It was long distance telephone charges. So we're talking thousands of dollars that I'll never get back to clear my name.
But you can make it much harder for identity thieves to take advantage of you. First off, check your credit record several times a year. You may find unpaid hospital bills or other expenses have damaged your good standing. Look closely at the summary of medical expenses that your insurance company sends you. It's called the explanation of benefits. You want to make sure that the only expenses are for treatments that you yourself incurred. Remember also to monitor your online account posted on your insurance company's website. And finally, if you do find a problem, contact your insurance company and medical providers right away. Plus, one more thing. Contact the main credit agencies and post a fraud alert with them. This will help protect you from further scams by an ID thief. And what happened to Ronnie Bogle? Well, there's been some good news. His 5-year nightmare is finally coming to an end. His brother was just recently caught and is being charged with several serious crimes.
Knowing that is all clear and gone away, it's like being handed a fresh new birth certificate. That's the only way I can describe it. It's something most of us take for granted. It's something I will never, ever take for granted.
As always, for more information, visit insurancefraud.org to read more about medical ID theft. That's insurancefraud.org. You'll get expert advice on how you can keep identity thieves away. Also, more good news. You can now get FraudFeed on iTunes. Just look in the iTunes store and subscribe to FraudFeed. You want to catch every episode about insurance scams and how you, too, can defeat the scammers. I'm Stephen Murphy, and thanks for listening. Keep on the lookout for our next episode, coming soon.
This has been FraudFeed, brought to you by the Coalition Against Insurance Fraud. Find more resources and listen to past episodes at insurancefraud.org. For questions or comments, email coalition@insurancefraud.org. We value your feedback. Please consider leaving us a review. And if you like this episode, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast feed or follow us on SoundCloud so you never miss a show. Thanks for tuning in.